team? And what does it mean to you that guys enjoy it that much?
Well, the thing that strikes me the most is, that they're well thought out decisions. They've weighed options and they've thought about it, done research, and are doing what they think is in their best interest. So, if somebody's doing that, it's always been my opinion that if somebody's putting their family first and then even puts themselves first, in a way that's, both of those things will be good for the team. If they're really if they're really putting their family first, and they're really putting themselves, what's good for them next, it'll be good for the team. So I'm impressed that they're researching it, and they're thinking about it, and they're making a decision. What's best for them? That's what we encourage, and that's what I think about that.
Back in the room to the right.
Coach, did that big bowl win over Florida last year have any carryover effect going into this season? And also, how does this Florida State team compare to that Florida team?
I don't think it does, and really don't like the practice of comparing two teams. Whenever you compare, somebody always gets diminished.
What about the carryover effect? Did it have any carryover effect?
No, I didn't think it did
No.
much.
What's your evaluation on Jamarcus Walker?
I think he's the best player. One of the best players we've seen. He's a real outstanding player. I think he's the most outstanding player on the best unit we've seen all season.
Front row, middle aisle.
Jim, quite a lot of emotion this season. Can you kind of just describe and explain? I know you just said you don't like to compare and contrast, but as far as your coaching career is concerned, is this one of the more emotional seasons that your team has gone through?
Well, it's an emotional game played and coached by emotional people. Yes. Most seasons are, most games, they're all emotional.
Right in front of him.
Coach John Borton, the Wolverine.com. At some point this week, Jordan Lewis said, "It's not about me," and he was excited about the fearlessness of the younger players on this team and the future of the program. Can your thoughts about that kind of attitude out of one of your veterans?
Yeah, Jordan Lewis is he's a great guy, great teammate, great player. Been a joy to be around for the last 2 years. No drama whatsoever. He just always goes out and gives it his best, and does it with a bounce in his step, and very zest, pizzazz. There's a happiness about him that it's infectious. It's been what we were talking about earlier. Great example of somebody to emulate. Yeah, he's a winner and a champion all the way in my book.
Coach George Richards, Miami Herald. First off, I've always had great respect for the state of Florida in terms of how the youngsters play football. They come up early. There's stories of 5- and 6-year-olds playing football. I just love it. My friend Gore has told me all the stories of growing up in Florida and started playing football when he was 5. And he played his college ball here. There's a real pride when you talk to anybody that's played football growing up in the state of Florida. Pride about
the type of football that's played in Florida, and there's a respect nationally. Everybody that I know that knows football has a great respect for Florida football.
Have you been able to take a longer look at some of the younger guys, and has anything jumped out at you that excites you more?
Yeah, that's been it is a part of a bowl game, and bowl preparation is practice time with younger players, and there's been some real encouraging things, and also there's obvious improvements that need to be made, and that's a process. It gives you a better idea for when spring practice starts. Here's the areas that we need to address with some of the younger players, but that's always a heck of a good time to start. You feel like you've got to jump on it. Feel like you've cheated the system. That the young players are getting the opportunity to have spring practice before spring practice even starts. So that process has begun.
The name that jumped out at you?
No, didn't want to name any names in particular.
So many seniors, do you think there's an increased urgency, with this being their last game in terms of motivation, to go out in a certain way? I mean, sometimes their small senior classes and it doesn't affect the whole thing. I mean, do you notice something of that in these practices and this game?
Yeah, I think I have. Never really anybody else's skin but your own, but yeah. Look back up, I remember sitting in locker rooms and Pee Wee hockey and Little League football and baseball, and knowing that was going to be my last hockey game, or my last high school football game, last high school basketball game, last college game, different times throughout my own life. I bet everybody here can resonate with that feeling at some point. They've been in that situation in athletics, and that's pretty sure that those emotions are, and it's understood by our players that that's the situation they're playing their last college game.
Front row, right side. Right.
Hey, Coach. Jeremy Sloan, ESPN. Florida State leading the league in leading the nation in sacks. Have there been an emphasis on offensive line, practice, and meetings, film studies, stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Very aware of that attribute that the Seminoles have, and it's been an emphasis, and do our best to protect. I kind of tailed off everything. I missed it.
So how do you take the lessons, the foundation Bo laid, the lessons you take from him, and make sure it's updated and current for the modern era, modern day coaching, coach your team?
Well, I mean, being a good learner, I learned a lot of things from some very good coaches, including Bo Schembechler, my dad, Mike Ditka, Lindy Infante, Ted Marchibroda. So personally, the things you learn, I mean, you take and try to do the best job you can coaching that you can do. And that's the approach I've taken.
Last week about Grant Perry, what did you learn last week that you didn't know that led to the second suspension?
Yeah. I would just refer you back to the statement that the university made.
Right, second, right side.
First time at the Orange Bowl. I wanted to get your overall thoughts on oranges. If you could eat oranges in 5 minute span, how many could you eat? Do you like the taste of orange juice after you brush your teeth? And do you like mandarin oranges in your salad? I really like those.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? If anybody doesn't like mandarin
I find oranges to be very refreshing. And same with orange juice. Great thirst quencher. And, last time I ate an orange was yesterday. I had one the day before that. I haven't tried five. I have not tried to see how many oranges I could eat. Is it 5 minutes? Or maybe
It's like orange juice contest, you know.
I've never participated in orange.
What orange juice like after you brush your teeth? Sometimes you make that mistake, you know, just forgetting to brush your teeth.
Yeah, if that's all you got there, why not? Like the go-to post refreshing rinse, but
I think we're done with
Effective.
the orange questions. AP, right?
You played Florida in its backyard, basically, in another citrus league game, exactly. You played, it was a road game basically for you then, even though bowl games are quote unquote neutral. Do you almost take a road game approach to this one too, with Florida State having so many ties down here, familiarity with the stadium, a lot of Miami kids and that sort of thing?
yes. In terms of crowd noise, et cetera, we have to prepare for that and anticipate that could be the case. And we have.
Role with your dad as a boy, and if I'm not mistaken, Jack is here with you, and I'm not sure how many of your children are. But what does it mean to you to be able to continue that tradition and spend time with your children here as you prepare for this game?
Yeah, five of my 6 children are here, and it's been amazing. My daughter couldn't come; she had water polo games yesterday, and then a tournament starting today. It's been great watching them run around the hotel. Son Jack coming out to practice yesterday and having a ball. We talked last night. Asked him what the best part of his day was, and he said it was coming to practice. And so that was, warmed my heart. And just watching our families, not just mine, but I mean other coaches, sons, daughters that have come to practice or been around the team meals, interacting with the team, watching our players interact with my kids is great. They've been awesome. Just remember that feeling as a kid, when a Michigan football player would notice me, as a 9 or 10-year-old, and pat you on the back or toss you a ball, and see Jake or John McCorn tossing the ball with my kids, and
It's like
you fight back the tears. You get very sentimental.
It's like Wrigley.
I do. Yeah. It's as good as it gets.
Front row, far left.
Last year at this time, around this week in Orlando, you said that first year you were here was your favorite year in football, after you won the game, after you won the Citrus Bowl. I'm interested, what has this year meant to you? I'm not telling you to compare, I'm just saying, what has this year meant to you? This year in football, what has it meant to you?
As it continues, it's been a great year. Blessed to be able to do what we do, and tremendously fortunate to have this opportunity to be out there in the field and see the practices come together over the last weeks, and get ready to play for this. Get ready to emotionally, physically watch the team prepare to play their game. You're consumed mainly by your preparations, by doing your duties, coaching the team and putting them in the best possible position that you can as a coach. But definitely as we described in detail here, I mean, there's sentimental emotions that have been with us and will be with us. So it's been good, real good.
Last question, front row, Janine.
Because you have mentioned that the fun is in the football work and the team unity with the guys being down here with the practicing and everything. But your players are a little disappointed they haven't seen any bikinis. I'd like to get your thoughts on that.
I don't have any thoughts on that.
They would like to see some bikinis before they leave.
I don't know about that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about.
The beach, the bikinis, that's all.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
No, not on the itinerary?
On what you're talking about. Good, we good?
We're good.
All right,
Thank you
thank
so
you very much.
Coach.